Hi there, my name's Gina McGinnis. I'm the Director of Sales for Windstar Cruises, and we're here in the Seattle office today with our Alaska Expedition Captain, Captain James Griffith, all the way from the UK, visiting us. And today we're going to speak a little bit about our brand new Alaska Expedition sailings. Thank you for joining us, James.
No, you're welcome. It's great to be here in Seattle, even though the weather is not good.
This is true. This is true. So we want to talk a little bit today about our Alaska sailings. They're brand new for Windstar. Actually, to be totally honest, we haven't been there in about 15 years. So these are new sailings for us. We are thrilled. We are so excited for them. We will be sailing on the Star Legend. That's the ship right here. So we'll refer to this ship throughout this talk. So I'm going to ask you a few questions today about the Alaska sailings.
Yeah.
So James, why did Windstar even choose to go to Alaska after being out of Alaska for so many years?
It's just such a great destination, actually, and historically, of course, before we had the motor ships like the Star Legend, the sailing ships weren't really that well suited to Alaska, really. They're more warm weather ships. So to be able to take a ship like the Star Legend to Alaska now just makes a huge amount of sense for us. She's a beautiful, smaller ship, only carrying 212 guests. And the Star Legend, actually, which is the ship we'll be sailing on, as you mentioned, actually is an ice-classed ship. So she was built to do this type of itinerary. She's got a reinforced hull. She's a beautiful cold weather vessel. So we've now got the ideal ship to go to Alaska. So it's taken us a while to get the itineraries in place, but we're very, very excited to take a ship like the Star Legend to Alaska. She's really built for that area.
Fabulous. So will you be doing anything to the Star Legend before she gets to Alaska to make any sort of changes or additions to it?
Yeah, and this is the really exciting thing. My background's in expedition, so I'm really pleased to have developed this program and also to have led the changes to the Star Legend. So right now the ship's heading down towards Dubai, but after that she's going to Singapore for a dry dock period, and we'll be making some fairly significant modifications to the ship to allow her to really operate at her best in Alaska. So between the funnels here, actually, we'll be adding what's going to be called the expedition deck, and that'll include a new crane. It'll include Zodiac boats, which are inflatable expedition boats. There'll be 6 of those stored up here, which will be lowered down when we get to our expedition areas. And also in the marina, we're making some changes as well to turn it into a staging area for our guests to embark on our Zodiac boats. And also we'll be loading 10 expedition kayaks as well. And in order to do all of that, we're going to be partnering with a company called Expedition Voyage Consultants to provide us with some of the best naturalists and expedition experts to be on board the ship for the entirety of our season. It's a very exciting project, and these people that we're bringing on board, these are not just guest lecturers. These are going to be glaciologists, they're going to be marine biologists, ornithologists, just real Alaska experts actually, and they're going to be there for the entire season hosting our signature Windstar expedition program.
Fabulous. So will these expedition leaders, will they be going on other ships or whatnot, or will they be with Windstar all summer?
Yeah, so they'll be there all summer. We've got some great people, as I say, lined up. We will have some change out of people during the season, but everyone that we're vetting to be leading this program is really excellent. And what the program actually is, we've modified the itinerary to allow us to have what we're calling expedition days. So we're going to places like Tracy and Endicott Arm, and whereas most ships that go to that place, for example, will just do a quick scenic cruise in and out and then back off to the next place, we're going into Tracy or Endicott. We're going to be stopping the ship in a remote location. We're going to be launching our expedition equipment, our Zodiacs, our kayaks, and then our expedition staff will take you off the ship in Tracy or Endicott to really get up close and personal to the wildlife, to the ice, to the glaciers. It's going to be fantastic. So much better to see Alaska this way than on a bigger ship where you're really insulated from the reality of the beautiful scenery and the wildlife.
Wow. So these expeditions sound great. They sound completely different from anything anyone else offers up in Alaska.
Yeah.
Will there be an extra cost for these, or are they included?
Well, there will be an extra cost actually, because each of these excursions, the kayaks and the Zodiac cruises, are going to be hosted by one of our expert staff. The Zodiac Cruises will last around an hour and 15 minutes, and the total length of our kayak adventures, and I'm really excited about our kayak adventures, because what we're going to do is actually take the kayaks to a remote location, even from the ship, and then we'll shuttle people out in the Zodiac boat to the kayaks, and then people are going to go off in the kayaks to experience a really unique wilderness experience with 2 kayak guides in our group of just 10 kayaks. So that's very exciting. And the cost, yes, so the Zodiac Cruise is going to run about $150 per person, and then the kayak departures will be $170 US. So given the experience that you're going to have, that really is excellent value.
Wow. So Alaska, it can be cold up there any time of the year. It's even in the summer. I know I've been up there many times. So should our guests plan to bring extra bags just to pack extra cold gear for these expeditions, or are there other options for them?
That's a good question, actually. And to be honest with you, in my experience, what I've seen is, you're right, it can be cold, absolutely. But if you go off on these kayaks, I normally see people coming back with a lot less clothes on than they went out with, right? Because you get a little bit of a workout and you stay warm. But obviously we will be providing waterproof pants and life jackets and this type of thing. But generally for the cruise, we are partnering with a local Seattle company here, actually, to provide expedition gear. So when our guests book the cruise, they'll get a link to a company called Ship to Shore, which we're working with, and you can actually buy expedition parkas and trousers and boots and all this stuff in advance. We'll ship it to the ship for you, and it'll be waiting for you in your cabin when you arrive. So that's a great partnership. But
wow.
The packing list will reflect reality. You know, we're not going to the North Pole. It is Alaska, and in the summer it's not that bad.
No, it can be quite nice.
It can be quite nice, yes.
So these expeditions sound great in Tracy, Misty, Kenai Fjords, and Wrangell.
Yeah.
However, I know we have Windstar is offering 11, 12, and 14-day sailings.
Yeah.
What is there to do on the other days while the ship is at sea or at other ports? Will we have shore excursions?
Exactly, and what I really like about this program, and this was key when we designed it, the expedition program is entirely an addition, right? So we're not taking anything away. We know that guests love our Windstar product, they love our onboard service, they love our crew, they love the kind of destinations that we go to, and also our shore excursions. So we're not taking anything away. The product that people love will be exactly the same. So therefore, when we're in the big ports, or the out-of-the-way ports that we normally go to, we'll be offering conventional shore excursions in the way that we always do. But the great thing about the expedition program, it's a great addition. So we've built time into the program to really go to these wonderful places and then offer expedition activities in addition. So this is the great thing about it. It's entirely in addition to the program. We're not taking anything away. It's just an addition. And our naturalists and staff, of course, aren't just going to be leading the expedition activities. These people are going to be giving lectures in the evening. They're going to be doing recaps of the day. They'll be leading photography workshops. They'll be on deck. They'll be on the bridge. Of course, we have our wonderful open bridge policy, so guests can come up there and do their whale watching with us. And we've also built time into the schedule to allow us to stop the ship if we see great wildlife. So if we see a pod of killer whales or we see a pod of humpback whales, we'll stop the ship for half an hour and look at them, and we'll provide expert commentary. You know how it is on the big ships. If you're lucky, you sail by at 20 knots. No, there's a whale over there, you know. But actually, we'll stop the ship and really give people a chance to see it. And the great thing about the Star Legend, so much wonderful forward viewing area, so that our guests can get out on the deck. We'll have the naturalists on the tannoy providing information. It's really going to be a great program. And these naturalists, of course, will also be hosting tables in the evening, and they'll be around. Really friendly people. They're all from the US, so they'll really be able to communicate very well with our guests. Excellent program.
Fabulous. So you mean to tell me we've got an open bridge policy in other locations, but we will have that also up in Alaska, so our guests can actually view the glaciers from the bridge with the captain and the captain's crew. You, the captain,
yes.
and your crew up there on the bridge. That's actually a possibility.
That is right, yes. I mean, the bridge is open when it's navigationally proven to do so. So we don't say that it's open 24 hours a day. Of course, if it's foggy or there's really bad weather or we're maneuvering, then the bridge would be closed, obviously. But when we're in open water, we'll open the bridge, and guests are always welcome to come up speak to the captain if he isn't too busy, speak to me, speak to my excellent deck officers, and as I say, we'll have naturalists, you know, positioned in the forward part of the ship when we're at sea, on the lookout as well, because the main thing with this wildlife is to be able to spot it, right? So we'll have spotting scopes as well to look for bears on the shore and to see whales in the distance, and then we can alter our course potentially. So yeah, a lot of thought has gone into this program, and yeah, I'm really excited about it.
Wow, that's certainly 180 degrees from ordinary.
Yes.
Being able to go up on the bridge.
Yeah.
So, up in Alaska, it's great to be on the sea. However, there's still the land portion in Alaska that is so very different from being on a ship. I've heard Windstar is also offering tours through Denali from Seward through Anchorage on the train to Denali, and then overnighting in Denali for 2 nights, and then to Fairbanks.
Exactly.
And that will be partnered with the sailings.
Yeah, exactly. We've got some great pre and post options as well, which guests can certainly have a look on the website. Highly recommended. It's such a great area, isn't it? I mean, you know Alaska well. It's just a wonderful place to go, and as you say, we're hitting some of the big spots as well. Of course, you know, we're going to Juneau and these places. It's just a great combination. If guests look at the itinerary, I think they'll see that we've got a really healthy mix of the big ticket items, you know, the big ports with the shopping and the helicopter tours to the glacier, and then we've got the smaller places like Wrangell, where we'll be leading hikes to Mount Dewey in these areas. So the itineraries are very well balanced, and they've been created with experts in the field to really get the best possible balance of what we know. I guess one, yeah, for sure you want to go to Juneau, for example, on an Alaska sailing, but we've got that, and then we've got the expedition component, and then we've also got some really cool out-of-the-way smaller ports that the big ships just can't get to. And even if people have sailed on the big ships before, potentially to Alaska, this is something different. You know, this is not Alaska from a 100,000-ton cruise ship. This is Alaska up close and personal, time in the day to really get to know the amazing people, the scenery, the wildlife. A different experience. So I'd recommend people that have even done Alaska before come and do it with us, and you'll have such a different experience.
Well, it sounds fabulous. The Windstar Alaska Cruise Expedition, the land tours through Denali sound absolutely fabulous. Yeah. Is there any talk about doing expeditions maybe somewhere else around the world with Windstar?
Absolutely. The expedition market is something we've been watching for a long time, and when I came to the company, this was part of my brief, which was to look at where we could bring expeditions. The Windstar product lends itself well to expeditions, actually, originally anyway. And we've always done a sort of an expedition product, you know, down in Costa Rica on our boats, and we've always had, you know, kayaks off the back and boating excursions off the back. So this isn't really new for Windstar in many ways, but we've created a new product within Windstar, the Windstar Signature Expedition Program. So we're not messing around. We really are doing it properly, and we are looking to scale this product to other areas. So we're looking at the British Isles, for example. We're looking at Iceland, adding expedition itineraries to Iceland now as well with this expedition program, and also other places in addition to Alaska, like Greenland as well. So there are a load of really fun places that we can add this product, and I just want to reiterate, you know, this is a great addition, right? We're not taking anything away. It's purely in addition to what we've always done, and I think guests would really appreciate that, because in my experience with Windstar guests, you know, they really want to get to know the places that they're sailing to, don't they? They're not a lot of them aren't big ship guests. They really want to experience the locality and the little places that we go to. So with these ships, the beautiful Star class of ships, it allows us now to stretch our legs into expedition areas, and in fact in 2018 we're visiting over 100 new ports, so we're adding itineraries everywhere around the world based on what we've heard from our guests.
Well, fabulous. Well, it sounds like there's so many exciting things going on at Windstar, especially with our new Alaska sailing starting this May 2018 through September, and we hope that as many of our Yacht Club members can join you, yes, Captain James, this summer. We would love to see you all on our ships, and thank you, Captain, for joining us today at Windstar Cruises here in Seattle.
Thanks, Gina, and hello to all the Yacht Club members. I'm sure I know quite a few of them.
I'm sure you do. Thank you.
Thanks.